Hi Orange class, it's lovely to be able to read you the very last part of our story of Mrs Tiggy Winkle. And here she is. She's doing something called starching, which makes material really stiff. Let's have a see what else happens. And what are you dipping into the basket of starch? They're little dicky shirt fronts belonging to Tom Titmouse, the most terrible particular, said Mrs Tiggy Winkle. Now I've finished ironing and I'm going to air the clothes. What are these dear soft fluffy things? Asked Lucy. Oh, those are the woolly coats belonging to the little lambs. Will their jackets take off? Asked Lucy. Oh, yes, if you please, ma'am. Look at the sheep mark on the shoulder, and here's one marked for Gatesgarth, and 3 that come from Littletown. They're always marked at washing. You might have noticed that when you see lambs and sheep, that they have little marks on so they know who belongs to who. And she hung up all sorts and sizes of clothes, small brown coats of mice, and one velvety black moleskin waistcoat, and a red tailcoat with no tail belonging to Squirrel Nut Kim, and a very much shrunk blue jacket belonging to Peter Rabbit, and a petticoat not marked that had gone lost in the washing, and at last the basket was empty. You might be able to guess why Peter Rabbit's coat has shrunk. I wonder what he's been up to. There's a TV programme, isn't there, with Peter Rabbit on that you might like to watch. Then Mrs Tiggy Winkle made tea, a cup for herself and a cup for Lucy. They sat before the fire on the bench and looked sideways at one another. Mrs Tiggy Winkle's hand holding the teacup was very, very brown and very wrinkly with the soap suds. And all through her gown and her cap there were hairpins sticking the wrong way out, so that Lucy didn't like to sit too close to her. We already know what she is, isn't she? We already know what animal Mrs Tiggy Winkle is. When they had finished tea, they tied up all the clothes in bundles, and Lucy's pocket handkerchiefs were folded up inside her clean pinny and fastened with a silver safety pin. And then they made up the fire with turf, came out, locked a door, and hid the key under the door sill. Then, away down the hill trotted Lucy and Mrs Tiggy Winkle with bundles of clothes. All the way down the path little animals came out of the fern to meet them. The very first that they met were Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny. And she gave them their nice clean clothes, and all the little animals and birds were so very much obliged to dear Mrs Tiggy Winkle. I wonder if you can work out what that means. We're so very much obliged. I wonder what you would be saying if she'd washed your clothes. So at the bottom of the hill, when they came to the stile, there was nothing left to carry except Lucy's little bundle. Lucy scrambled up the stile with the bundle in her hand, and then she turned to say good night, to thank the washerwoman. But what a very odd thing! Mrs Tiggy Winkle had not waited for either for thanks or for the washing bill. She was running up the hill. And where was her little white frilled cap, and her shawl, and her gown, and her petticoat? And how small she had grown, and how brown and covered with pickles. Why, Mrs Tiggy Winkle was nothing but a hedgehog. Now some people say that little Lucy had been asleep upon the stile, but then how could she have found her 3 clean pocket handkerchiefs and a penny pinned with the silver safety pin? And besides, I have seen that door into the back of the hill called Cat Bells, and besides, I am very well acquainted with Mrs Tiggy Winkle. I wonder what you think is the truth in the story. Do you think that Lucy fell asleep? We just don't know, do we? And here at the back are all the pictures of the other characters that Beatrix Potter wrote about. I hope you really enjoyed hearing these stories. You might be able to find some more of these Mrs Tiggy Winkle books in the library now that they're opening again. You never know. We'll see you soon. Bye. Bye, Orange Class. Bye.